It's watching news here on Rise News. The final sitting of the Lagos Judicial Panel of Inquiry for the restitution of victims of SARS-related abuses and other matters is currently holding at the Lagos Court of Arbitration. The panel was inaugurated by the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on the 19th of October 2020 following a wave of NSAS protests in the state. And let's go live to the tribunal in Lekki, where our correspondent Sheito Atigari joins us right now. Sheito, we know this is the final day of the tribunal. What has been achieved today?
Well, thank you so much for having me, Aaron. Today, of course, is the final sitting of the Judicial Panel of Inquiry here in Lagos State. And what we've seen in the first half of the sittings is really just most of the petitioners who have pending cases being attended to. What a lot of people are waiting for is, of course, the restitution and the final findings of the panel regarding the Lekki tollgate incident. I need to also state at this point that over the past 1 year, the panel has met every Tuesday, Friday and Saturday, making a total of about 131 sittings so far and taking on 235 petitions in total.
Shaitan, what is the atmosphere in the down there right now? What's the atmosphere? What's the discussion like?
I mean, I'll definitely say that there's anticipation. A lot of people are waiting to hear what the final judgment or rulings on their petitions would be. There's a certain level of relief, of course, for the lawyers, for the policemen, for the petitioners, and even the journalists that have been coming here 3 times a week for the past 1 year. It's definitely one that a lot of people are looking forward to as the last one. So I would say anticipation and, of course, relief. Yeah,
Shaitan, commendation must actually go to you. You've been on it since October of 2020, but we see empty chairs behind you. Are they on recess or what's going on right now?
Make a slight correction. I've actually been on it since the 8th of October 2020. Of course, after the Lekki incident, this had to be moved across to the judicial panel just so that people, victims of police brutality, can have their cases heard. So it has been a long journey, a very emotional one, but I, for one, am looking forward to hearing what the final reports would be, the final findings would be from the judicial panel, and of course the recommendations that they will be handing over to the Attorney General of Lagos State.
All right, Senator, I wanted to find out from you. I see empty chairs behind you. Are they on recess? Are they on break? What's going on right there right now?
Can you repeat that, please?
I said, I see empty chairs behind you. Are they on recess right now, or what's going on there?
Right now, we are on a recess. I hope I heard your question right regarding what's happening in court right now. Yeah. We are on a recess. As soon as the panel comes back in, and they will very shortly. I've just been given the signal that they probably would be coming in a few seconds. We're going to be seeing landmark judgments and, of course, compensations to victims of police brutality.
Okay, Shaitan, we know it's been a long journey. There has been a lot of panels. There have been a lot of discussions. Let's talk about the Lekki shootings and the conflicting reports, allegedly, and what is actually going to come of all of these meetings for the last year.
I mean, it is interesting to know. I have to state that I cannot predict what the findings will be, but looking at the cross-examination that has gone on, the testimony that has been given, we did have the head of the military who was here, at the earlier part of this panel, and he hasn't denied the fact that they were at the toll gate. However, what he said was that only blank ammunition was fired and not towards the protesters up in the air. So at this point, it's not up to the panel to say that this is exactly what happened. They have to take into cognition all the facts before them, all the testimony that has been given, and of course the cross-examination that was conducted by members of the NBA and of course members of the team for the prosecution as well, to understand what happened and then give their recommendations. But their presence there has, I can boldly say that their presence there is not something that is still in doubt.
All right, Shait, as this panel of inquiry is coming to a close, do some of those who have brought their cases before this judicial panel, do they feel a sense of closure? Because I must say this, tomorrow a lot will be happening, and this is happening on the eve of when that remembrance will be taking place tomorrow. Talk to us about, Wednesday, I beg your pardon. Talk to us about this, and if they are feeling any sense of closure after hearing some of these things and after some verdicts have been given.
Aaron, if it is possible, Aaron, if you could repeat your question, I can't hear you quite.
All right, I'll try to be as audible as I can.
Just repeat it to me very briefly.
All right, Shaitan, I just want to keep it simple. Are those who have come to this panel of inquiry, do they feel a sense of closure as this panel of inquiry is coming to an end?
I really hate to do this, but I can't hear you.
It's okay. Let me step in.
Okay.
Let me step in and help Aaron with that question, and also add in mine. He's talking about the level of closure that the people feel, those who had brought their cases before the panel. Do you think this is, if they feel closure as to the way things have played out in the last year?
Well, definitely, there are people, there are people who still have doubts about, even the formation of the panel, and if the panel in itself would put a dent in or put an end to police brutality. But one thing you need to understand, that I feel this is the step in the right direction. It's coming to an end now because that is the assignment they've been given. But looking forward, especially to petitioners and people who didn't believe in it and now are willing to step forward to give their cases, I believe that there should be a panel set up, because there's so many people who have cases and who will continue to come forward to say what has happened. I mean, we still have reports coming from various parts of the country about police brutality still ongoing. So it's something that has to be, I think, more permanent as opposed to temporary. This is a good step in the right direction, but we definitely need more. I have spoken to some of the petitioners, persons who have received restitution, people that came giving their stories, having no idea what was going to happen in that time, and they have, they've had their cases, and they've gotten, some compensation. It might not be all they need for loss of lives and, of course, loss of property, but it is a step in the right direction. And there are also petitioners in here who have even said that it's not about the money; it's about coming forward and letting people know that this has happened to them, and even having some sort of reconciliation where the police or whoever it is that is involved in that certain brutality comes forward and takes acknowledgement for what they've done and apologizes. So it's not just about the compensation and the restitution, but also acknowledgement and, of course, apologizing for what it is that they've gone through.
Shaitan Atigarin, for your work and continuing to cover this case. Thank you so much.